Father Ann, Principal, Father Santo John, Sister Benita, Headmistress, Reverend Father Gerard, Father Marcus, sisters, fathers, parents, teachers, students, and my dear friends. I'm very glad to be here in this institution, in this village. And I have a connection with this village. Twofold connection. One is my father's sister got married into this village. Of course, they are now no more here, but she got married in SIOLIM. And the other connection is, you know your son of SIOLIM, Remo Fernandez. Remo studied piano with my mother. So in Panjim, when they were staying in Panjim, they studied piano with my mother. So I have one connection and a second connection with here. And of course, for St. Anthony's Feast, I always come to the SIOLIM Church. I'm glad to have been invited by the Salesian Franzlian Fathers. The Franzlian Fathers, I have known them even before I got married. There was Father Tony Nazareth, if you remember. And he had come to me somewhere in 1991 or 92. And I did a case allowing the Franzlians to get the property which would have been lost. And Father Tony Nazareth was one of the 15 fathers who celebrated our wedding, and I was not an MLA at that time. When I came here, I saw the program and I knew that the school has rolled up an impressive array of performances, and each one, as I watched, showcased a deep meaning, whether it was simply in form of dance, or whether it was in the form of a narrative, or whether it was form of a drama. I'm glad that the institution has given chance to children to come up on the stage and to showcase their talents. We never know how talented our children can be unless we allow them to go on the stage and perform. We may be bathroom singers, we may be very good singers at home, but when it comes to a stage, somehow there is something known as stage fright, and we need to allow our children to overcome stage fright. From the house, the first place where the child interacts most is the school. And it is the school which will mold a child and make the child, give the child the confidence, give the child the education, I'm not saying qualification, the education to bring everything from within to flower and to bloom to the maximum. And that is what I know the Franzlians have been doing, not just in academics, but also in sports and in music, drama. I'm a musician, so I know what it means to help people to go up on stage and to push them forward. And it's not an easy task. Children are of varying ages. Even all children in the same class are not of the same size. As a music teacher myself, I remember, my youngest student was 4 years old and my oldest student was 72 years old. So you can imagine, some very brilliant, some very good, some very speedy, very fast they could play, some couldn't play fast. And then when choosing music, I had to see the size of the hand, size of the finger, how fast the student can play or play slow, and then choose the music and work around so as to perfect the performance. And this is what your teachers, your staff have spent days to ensure that everyone works as a team and puts up a show which is appreciated and liked by all. And I'm sure Every parent will be happy to see his or her child up on the stage. And we should not forget one thing. Whatever pleasure we get, never forget the teachers and the staff, the administration of the school who gave your child that chance to go out and showcase their talents. A big hand to the school management and to the teachers. Even in the play which was done, I saw the underlying theme of family value. I remember reading as a child. I love reading, by the way. I read in the car, I read in any place, which I wouldn't say where also, but you know, the best place where you never get disturbed. But I love to read. I remember as a child, there was a TV series which used to come. Malgudi Days, if many of you watched that. I even bought the books after that. And as you read the stories, they are very small stories, but they are like ordinary life of a village boy in a village background. And when you read it, somehow you will relate it to your golden days. In those days, we would think this is a far-off village somewhere in Karnataka. I think somewhere it's around Mysore it is written. But when you come back and read it today, and I look back, I think the stories were just reminders of the days coming for us. And I think those are the golden days which we have enjoyed. The type of friends we had, today many of them are not here, many of them have gone abroad. The village life is changing, everything is becoming different. We sometimes become to stand by ourselves. But I believe one thing, if we have this kind of a background, this kind of setting, this kind of an education, which has been imbibed in us by great institutions like the Franzilians, the Jesuits, or any of these convent schools, you will realize that that is actually education. And I believe if you have good education, you need not prove yourself to the world to be anything outside. You may be MA, MSc, you may BA, BSc, first class, but if you don't have education, all your qualifications down the drain. As a student of Loyola in Margao, they had a motto on the logo, and it was simply AMDG. And we as naughty children always thought something different. So the boys, they used to whisper, and none had the courage to ask, so they asked me, please you ask, Father. So I asked Father, I said, everybody's cracking a joke about that AMDG. And what they say is, Adam Melo, Dobyan Gelo. But it can't be that. It can't be the logo of the Jesuit. Then he said, no, it is Ad Maiorem Dei Gloriam, which means for the greater glory of God. And then I asked him, just very innocently, this was 1977 in my second standard, and I asked him, Father, why is it not for the greatest glory of God, because we should do something the best? And he said something to me which I never forgot. He said, we do what we do today is the best, but we always believe somebody else will come and do better. And that is why we have that philosophy that we always strive to be the best, and that is why it is for the greater glory of God. And let me tell you, I thought that should be my philosophy of life, and that's the way I thought I should rise and keep going day by day. And I ask you, not just for your children, but also, my dear children, keep these good ideals in life. You will have overcome many obstacles. You will be able to face the world. Your world will not just be your neighborhood, your village, but it can be anywhere over the continents too. Thank you very much.